Thank you guys for joining me here on this last segment of today's show. Really wanting to shine a light on the NFC North here a little bit. And not to say that it hasn't been talked about, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear that this division has been the best division in all of the NFL so far. Um, and when we previewed this season and talked about this division, right, I'm pretty sure I had the Packers winning it, and I had the Lions in second, then the Vikings in third, and I had the Bears finishing last for the reason that they were just getting together and all of that, right? But no way could you have ever convinced me, or I ever would have imagined that this division would be this good already through 6 weeks of the NFL season, right? The division as a whole, to give you guys some context, has a record of 17-5 so far, the best division record clearly this year, but it's also the best of any division through 6 weeks of a season since 1970. So they're doing historical things individually, but also as a collective, right? And how well they're all playing so far. And we knew that the Lions were going to be in this race, right? Because of the year that they had last year. We hyped up the Packers, right? I had them winning this division because I felt like Jordan Love was going to be on his MVP journey to really being a candidate and a top three guy in this league in the NFL. And it's unfortunate that he got hurt, but we're starting to see the Packers kind of pick it up a little bit more and pick up where they left off really last year from these last couple games. And elsewhere, the Vikings, you never would have imagined that Sam Darnold was going to step in and really look like the top draft pick that the Jets got, or they thought they were getting, but never really developed into that until now. We're seeing it right now with Kevin O'Connell alongside Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones and all these guys, right? Jordan Addison. It's great to see, right? It's great for Sam Darnold, like good for him to find this situation that really benefits him. They're still undefeated. And the Chicago Bears also, they're 4-2 with a rookie quarterback that a lot of people, just based on the recency bias, that everybody has to be CJ Stroud or they're going to be a complete bust, right? We saw Caleb struggle in a couple of games already against the Titans, where they didn't score a touchdown on offense, and against the Colts, where he threw a couple interceptions. We're still only 6 weeks in for Caleb Williams in his entire career, and now people are thinking like, oh wow, like he finally is showing us what he's capable of. We're only 6 games in, and it's still super early, but because people want to see CJ Stroud, like I said again, Jaden Daniels, all credit to him, people think that it's that easy just to step in and be this revolutionary quarterback. And again, credit to Jaden Daniels for doing it, but it's not to discredit how long it might take Caleb, maybe longer games than it has Jaden Daniels, right? But we're now seeing, I believe, that this offense is finding their groove. Caleb is seeing the field a lot better, and he's making some big-time throws. He's really commanding this offense in a way that's exciting, that really gets a lot of Bears fans more optimistic than they ever have been over the last, decade, pretty much. So all these teams are playing very well, and the Vikings are still undefeated. The Lions were the least surprising, obviously, with what they did last year. Green Bay, their potential, we knew about them, and I just mentioned Chicago as well. And what's even more exciting about the fact that we know that all these teams are good is that they barely have played each other so far in 2024, right? They really haven't seen each other other than week 4 when the Vikings beat the Packers in what was an insane game where the Packers almost came back there towards the end, but the Vikings were able to close it out. And this upcoming week, we have the Vikings again playing against the Detroit Lions in another divisional game as well. And that game's probably going to be just as great as the Packers game with the Vikings. So still, within divisional games, they haven't really played each other yet, and we haven't really seen them match up against each other quite yet, other than the Vikings getting the first 2 matchups. We still have to see the Bears and how they host the Packers, how they host the Vikings potentially, or the Lions play against the Bears as well. And, the Lions play against the Packers too. We haven't seen any of these games yet, and those are still to come. And what makes it more exciting on how these games could play out. And not only that, we could really see and kind of help us answer this question, right? Which NFC North team are we most confident in going forward? It's hard to answer that when they haven't played each other, but so far we're going to try to answer it now after 6 weeks in the NFL. And I think it's fair to say, for as much as I love the Bears and I love what Caleb Williams is doing, I'm a big fan of his. I feel like they would be the least I'm confident in of this division just because they're starting everything up right now. It's looking great, but I feel like there's more hiccups to come later on in the year, right? I just feel like it's natural for rookie quarterbacks to find new problems, new hurdles that they have to overcome and kind of fall and get back up from before they really, in year two, much like CJ, are really starting to look a lot more polished. So I feel like the Bears could be at number 4 right now for which team I'm most confident in. They would be at number 4 in this division, and then the next 3 teams are almost impossible to really decide from, right? Because they all match up so well with each other. They're all like different iterations of the same very well built team, right? We're talking about the running game that all of them have. Really good to exceptional offensive lines for all of these guys. Quarterbacks that are playing as good as anybody. Defenses also that are very underrated as well. It's hard to make a real like solidified choice, right? Because all these teams, these like the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings are so well put together that it was really hard for me to make a decision. But I think at number 3, for the time being right now, based on everything we know, I think the Lions would be number 3 for me. And that might be a little bit like shocking, blasphemous maybe, because the Lions were just in the NFC Championship game. But I really don't like Aiden Hutchinson going down with that season-ending injury. That's a huge needle mover for me, basically, because I can't really think of a team being great, being a Super Bowl contending team, if they don't have anybody to get to the quarterback. Say you're playing in the Super Bowl, right, and you have nobody getting to Patrick Mahomes, you're going to lose that game. You're 100% you're going to lose that game, right, if you can't make Patrick or make Lamar, make these guys uncomfortable, right, with any sort of pass rush. And not having a guy like Aiden is huge. So that's why it's really like a factor that is holding me back from really believing in the Lions, because I am a big fan of them. But that's really such a big injury that until they address it in some way, I can't really 100% be behind them yet. So I'm going to go with number 3 for them as a team that I have most confident in terms of winning this division and going the furthest in the playoffs. Then at number 2, I'm going to go with the Packers, because I believe that they're like, we're just kind of seeing them get into their groove right now because of the fact that Jordan Love was injured and now is coming back and now is looking a little bit more settled in. They're kind of over that whole weird scenario with Romeo Doubs. They kind of got over that. So having Romeo, having Christian Watson, Jaden Reed is looking awesome. And, Josh Jacobs still as well. They have all the pieces there that Matt LaFleur can put together in an offense that is very well put together schematically, has a great game plan week in and week out. And on the defensive side of the ball, while Jair might get a lot of the attention based on the name, Xavier McKinney is awesome. He's an awesome player for them. I knew that it was going to be a great replacement. I guess I kind of predicted it a little bit that he was going to be good for them, but I didn't think he was going to have 5 interceptions already. He's been a great addition to their defense, and I think the Packers are, they have they're not drastically missing something like the Lions are. So I have a little bit more confidence in them for that reason, but obviously that leaves the Vikings at number 1, and I think they have everything going for them except maybe Aaron Jones staying healthy. He got hurt this past week, and it looked a little bit dodgy there in the second half. But other than that, the Vikings, looking up and down this roster, their offensive line is awesome. Justin Jefferson, you don't have to really make too much of a case for him. Jordan Addison is a great number 2. Sam Darnold is playing very well. Until I see him kind of fail and not perform like he has, I can't just say that I can't expect him to continue this, because this is the only thing I've seen so far. So he's playing great. Their offensive line, like I said, is very good. On defense, they added Jonathan Grenard. Dallas Turner's very good, who they drafted. They added Blake Cashman. He's very good as their middle linebacker. Stephon Gilmore, a underrated addition to this team. I'm blanking. Brian Flores calling as good of a defense as anybody as well. So you can't really point to a major flaw that they have up until now. And that's why I feel like I would have the most confidence in them so far, because they've already beaten the 49ers. They've already beaten the Texans as well. So it's not to say that they haven't faced great teams. They've beaten great teams already. So this upcoming week is going to be another test. But I feel like they're the most complete out of anybody in this NFC North right now. And I am a believer in Sam Darnold. So if that's what's holding you back, I would just say, like, keep watching, because I feel like Kevin O'Connell is really the mastermind behind all of this. And I'm not going to doubt Kevin O'Connell with all these weapons that they have. And still, they have TJ Hawkinson to come back. So, if we thought this offense was good, they're going to have a top 3 tight end coming back for them in a couple of weeks. So, they're a legit team, I feel like. And while it's surprising to kind of accept that now, I feel like they're just going to continue to prove it. So the Vikings are the team that I have the most confidence in the NFC North. Let me know if you guys agree with that, or if you guys think I'm out of my mind or something like that. But that's who I'm going with right now, and that'll do it for today's show. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go watch Thursday Night Football, but thank you guys for watching today's show. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the show, as well as following the network on all forms of social media. And if you want to check out more of the Chip Shot Football podcast, check out both YouTube channels to find more content around this show in a variety of different ways. And tune in every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for more of the live shows where we talk about the NFL, debate some things, discuss some other things, and go over the biggest headlines with me, Manny Maradiaga, as your host. Thank you guys again, and we'll be back tomorrow to discuss Thursday Night Football and close out the week.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to